Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Web3 Women. This is episode number 3 we're bringing to you. My name is Yinka, and I have with me
Tam.
Yes, both of us are back, and we're here to give you more information about what's going on in this blockchain ecosystem that we're building. Web3 Women is brought to you by Black Women Blockchain Council. The intentions of Web3 Women is to provide you with insight from women who are in this space, because there's lots of us who are building, working, and being productive in this space, and we're adding value to this blockchain ecosystem that's being built. So Tam and I are here with you today to bring you some exciting information about what's going on in this space, give you some tips, and help you navigate through this space in a safe, secure way. You know, I want to tell you about the t-shirt that I'm wearing. It says Black Women in Blockchain will change the world, which I truly believe will happen. So I'm really excited about that, and about the things that we're doing in the space and the contributions that we're adding to the blockchain ecosystem. So Tam, what's going on in this blockchain ecosystem?
Something new every day, that's for sure. Today we're going to get started with our hot topic. Our hot topic is the SEC charges former Coinbase manager and 2 others in crypto asset insider trading. This broke on July 21st, and that was interesting, right? So this is like one of the first ones that we actually have, Yinka. And that is huge news in this space, because now everybody's like, oh my goodness, what does that mean? All right, so the first thing that we need to know that it means is that the SEC found evidence that they're saying that there were, I believe it was a project manager, his brother and his friend, in which the project manager who worked for Coinbase, the ex-project manager for Coinbase, would let his friend and his brother know when new coin offerings were about to hit Coinbase. And he gave them tips, and they went out and bought these cryptos, and 9 of which the SEC is claiming are securities. Because they have the definition of being a security, the fact that he gave them that information therefore makes it insider trading, because they profited from the trading of those cryptos. They purchased them before they hit the market, and then once they hit the market, they cashed in by selling them for more than what they paid for, like well over what they paid for. So that's the reason why the SEC is filing those charges against them.
Yeah, it's another phase of how regulators are stepping into this space, right? But you know, this time around, I'm trying to figure out, you know, how they ended up classifying some of these 9 cryptos as securities, but we'll talk about later. I wanted to add to the fact that this is not the first time that the insider trading charges are being brought on in this space. Even though the SEC is involved in this one, there was a previous situation that also called insider trading, which actually happened to be with OpenSea and NFTs. So we had this individual who participated because he was an insider of OpenSea. He was one of the managers, I believe, at OpenSea, and he had access to which NFTs were going to be listed on their platform, right? So he knew which NFTs were going to be provided as a blue check, right, on their platform. And so once those blue check NFTs made a lot of money, because oftentimes they tend to go after those generative pieces, and they do make a lot of money, he profited as well. And then he ends up selling it and then reaping the benefit of those proceeds that he gained simply by being in the know and taking action, front running, right?
Yes.
Before those NFTs go live. And as soon as they go live, he's now able to sell it and reap that benefit of having access to it. So that's another way. And that in that situation, they looked at it from a code of ethics point of view, right?
Mhm.
So he was violating a code of ethics. And usually, you know, all corporations, some projects have their own internal code of ethics, you know,
Yes.
that basically highlights the fact that you have a fiduciary duty to the clients or the customers or the community, and you will not do anything nefarious, anything manipulative or fraudulent. And being able to trade ahead of others simply because you happen to know what was going to be listed as a blue check is a violation of those code of ethics. So he's going through that process right now. So we're seeing a lot of slap on the wrist that are coming down in this space.
Right. And another point I want to point out with this regulation coming in is kind of what the director of the SEC's division of enforcement said. He says that, quote, in this article, he said, "We are not concerned with labels, but rather the economic realities of an offering. In this case, those realities affirm that a number of crypto assets at issue were securities, and as alleged, the defendants engaged in typical insider trading ahead of their listing on Coinbase. Rest assured, we'll continue to ensure a level playing field for investors, regardless to the label placed on the securities involved." So it could be both reassuring, but also it's a little bit it caused me a little bit pause. Yeah, open-ended. Right? Because from what I heard, he said, like, right, was like, listen, we're out here to protect you, we're trying to protect you, but also we don't care what it's called. We don't care if it is like really a security, because you could call it whatever, but we're gonna come after you if we feel like there's insider trading. Which is, at the surface, it seems fine, right? But if you're going to start mismanaging or recalling things, giving things different names than what they actually are, then how are we as the regular consumer supposed to move and maneuver in this space, right? Because maybe I am looking to get into cryptos, right? And I don't want to be involved in anything that could be possibly a security. Maybe that's just my personal. Like, so how would I then be able to make sure that, per your definition of the term, that I'm not getting involved in security, like opening myself up to that level of risk, right? And so to me, it kind of sounded, like you said, very open-ended, very, it made me be like, so you don't care what it is? Like, you don't really care what it is? You're saying that you're just going to come after it, is what I hear, right? And that's problematic for a lot of reasons for me in this space, a lot of reasons, especially when it comes to, like, the needs of sovereignty and, being able to choose what I get involved in, which should be a characteristic of, like, this Web3 space. So very, very, doesn't make me feel good, I put it like that. Doesn't make me feel good. Doesn't make me feel great at all. But it does, the fact that they're trying to have some type of protection for the regular consumer. I'll say I get it, but I'm worried about it.
Yeah, I agree. It's open-ended. It's basically saying, we will step in when we feel like we need to step in. And it is kind of an alarm. I say kind of because, to those individuals who are creating these platforms, you all know this. You all know this now.
You're on notice.
And to me, I think that's actually not a bad thing to tell them that you're on notice, right? So now they've got to step up their game, right? It's not that they're saying every crypto is a security, but they're saying if we deem it to be, after looking at it and scrutinizing it, let's step back, right? Around 2017, they came up with, or is it 2018? One of those years. It's been all years, all the years together. But anyways, they came out with, and then they said all other cryptocurrencies will be looked at on a case-by-case basis. I think that's what they're saying again this time around. But this time around, they're kind of putting a little bit of oomph behind it, right? Because now they're saying, you know what? We don't care. You could say it's crypto. You could say, whatever you wanted to say. If we deem it to be, we deem it to be. And this is how we're going to step in. And so that's the way that they're kind of coming in gully,
just a little bit,
and putting people on notice. And I think it's up to these projects to start trying to figure out what are they doing, because oftentimes when they do come for these cryptos, they're looking at how are they marketing themselves. What are they putting out there? Are they trading? Are they like, moving around as if it is a security? Because there's certain things that you do when you're about to offer a security, right? Because you're telling people it's gonna gain value. You're gonna get value out of this. You're gonna get all these things that earlier on some of us knew not to say because we but now it's kind of like you get some newbies in here. They're thinking they can say whatever, do whatever, right? And now they're realizing that don't be thinking
like
up in here like that.
A whole slew of verbiage that you should not be using because you will be looked at as a security, so just so many other different rules and regulations. And I think it's important though to make those things available to the consumers as well. We need to know what we're getting involved in. And hopefully that there is, if they as they come into this space with this regulation, ideally it would be with a thought of, we need to make this clear. It needs to be understandable to the common person, whether or not you can look at this as a security or not. And I don't know that, because this space is so new and there are nuances sometimes with different coins and different offerings. How do you do that? How are they, what's the plan to actually make sure that is achieved? So without taking it out of it, because my concern is that at some point it gets taken out of the hands of us, the people.
The community.
Of the community. And that is not of this space. It's not how it's supposed to be done. It's not the principles on which the space was built and which we're building it. So that's what really causes me huge pause with that kind of open-ended statement.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. It is an issue, but at the same time, I guess I'm playing devil's advocate here. There needs to be a reining in of some of the people in this space, right? Satoshi Nakamoto did not go out there and say, hey, I'm creating this new, coin, or y'all need to get into this. He was not doing that. He put it out there, let the people decide, right? There was no marketing gimmick. There was no, body promising it to be, the best performance is going to 10 times. It was just the people found out for themselves, right?
It
was decentralized. And so we saw value in that ability of me choosing because I researched, because I chose to be involved, not because I was moved or enticed. Right?
Yes. Not because someone played with my emotions and told me about this, because that's what it is. It's they use these marketing things and they're meant to create emotional reactions, right? And so you didn't manipulate my emotions or anything like that. You just said, here's this thing, read about it. That's what she said. Satoshi said, listen, here's this thing, read about it, figure out, what do you think? And what do you think? And so, I 100% agree that there does need to be a reining in of those individuals out here who are, walking too close to the line or over the line, right? 100%. But also that, to me, can be solved through a lot of it can be addressed, and I may not solve, but addressed through education, right? Because the more people understand what it is that they're actually doing, the more people understand the characteristics of a security versus just a regular crypto asset. Regardless, the more right? The more education that we have behind this space, the better off it will be for the consumers, the better off it will be for everyone. So a part of that definitely needs to be outside of regulation. I think that there needs to be, and with that regulation, there has to be a huge push and movement, just as much, if not more, for education.
I agree. Everybody knows that education is very much important. And, we talked about last time that the U.S. Treasury Department also agrees that education is important. And one of the things that they're doing is trying to educate themselves about what's going on in this community. And they want to hear from your voices. So don't forget to put in your comments to them, and we will post that link again. But, there are 9 cryptos that have now officially by the SEC been deemed as securities. So let's
take out your notebooks. Write these down. Take them out. Go ahead, Yinka.
All right. So the first one is AMP. and it's a digital collateral token offering instant verifiable assurances for any kind of value transfer. I mean, just saying all that makes me just say, you know what? There's really no argument here. I'm sorry. But digital collateral token. I mean, you're just putting all kinds of wrong red flags on this. So, yeah, you can see why. They said, you know what? That doesn't.
I failed that one.
That's the fifth test. Y'all trying to do too much.
Seriously. Trying to do a lot.
Doing too much, okay?
Yeah, like take a break.
All right. So this next one, I knew about the platform. The platform has been around for a minute. I'm still trying to scratch my head, trying to figure out exactly what and why they would deem this to be a security, but I guess it's in how they operate. So this one is Rally, RALLY, or RLY is the ticker symbol. It's a social token oriented protocol that allows you to create and launch your own token. So you can go to this platform and actually create a Tam token, an Oli token, or Yinka token. You can create your own token. So that is a platform that allows you to do that. And so, I guess because they're allowing people to create all kinds of tokens, they got to go to the courts, right?
Uh-huh.
Rally is one of them. The other one, I'm kind of skipping to the end of this list because I saw this name and I was like, how do you pronounce this one? Then you have to forgive me because I'm about to skip the list. Go to the last one. Chromatica.
Maybe it's Chromatica.
Finance, right? The name is KROM with the KROM is the ticker symbol. It's a decentralized trading protocol enabling crypto traders to execute limited orders. I'm sorry. Seriously, at this point, if you want red flags all over, go ahead, say everything that's security related. Just
use all the words.
Show me how you can say security without saying security.
Right. How can you say security without saying security?
Hello. I mean, come on now. Like, seriously, come on. Let's be real. Let's be real. So, yeah, that allows you to execute limit orders. Okay? Come on. At that point, I just had to stop. So, yeah, Chromatica was security. Okay?
Yeah, you sound like a big security out here. Right.
There is Deriva Debts is ticker symbol is DDX, and the last one that I'll say is XYO. Ticker symbol is XYO. We'll go into deeper dive into all of these 9 a little bit, in the next episode. So Tam, take it away from the last few.
All right, so then we have the Rari governance token, which is RGT. We have LCX is the ticker. And then we have Powered Ledger, which is POWR as the ticker. And DFX Finance with the ticker of DFX. So if you're into any of those, okay, any of the ones we listed, and we'll go like you can say, we're going to go through the some more in depth of those on our next episode. But if you have any of those, know that you're operating with security. They have determined these to be securities, and you might want to do your research and figure out why that's important for whatever goal or whatever operations that you have going on with those. So keep your eyes open for more of these coming out as securities. Figure out how you as a person or business, how you're operating with them, and make sure that you're covering yourself, right, by doing your own research. And that's where we're at right now, because a lot of this comes back all the time to me is research. Doing your own research, right? Like, because I mean, listen, had the brother or the friend been like, he gave you this list, right? Because remember, there's more on this list, but 9 of them were considered. Mm-hmm. So had they done their own research, be like, that sounds like a security. Maybe I won't do that one. Maybe I won't do that one. I'll do the other one. We wouldn't have a headline right now. We wouldn't, because they would just be like, oh, they found out they were doing this, but there's nothing really they can do about it because they aren't securities. All right, now I'm not saying go out here and do no scrupulous stuff like that, but I'm just saying, had they done their research, they might not be facing a maximum fine of, I think it's like $10 million. So, do your own research. Like, we say it for a reason. And there's so many reasons, not just like, scams in this space, but there's jail time, fines in this space. Do your own research. Don't trust anybody else.
That part. I mean, we're going to say do your own research quite a lot, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't even sit here and be like, I got all my stuff from, the Web3 Women. No, you're going to have to do your own research. After watching this, go look at those 9. There's a reason why we gave you their ticker symbol. We want y'all to go research them. Because, we highlighted 3 right now. And some of them, yeah, they do sound, look.
Mighty like a security to me.
Right? There's no argument. But, right. You might be able to find others. And if you do, we want to hear from you. So make sure you comment for sure.
Make sure you comment, follow, like below. Like, we want to see you guys. We want to know that you're here and you're listening and that you are doing your own research, right? Maybe you guys find some more information that we didn't know too. So we love hearing from you. Please tap into us. Absolutely.
Exactly. So now, we cannot end this without giving you some tips. So Tam, take it away. What are the tips?
All right. Tips today. First of all, since we're talking about securities and really that has to do with the financial system, the best thing I could do to tell you is you want to know what you're doing, right? You want to know what you're doing. So the best way to find out what you're doing is start at the beginning. A really good place to start is with the creation of our financial system, creation of the Federal Reserve. There's a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island. It gives it's kind of almost like a non-fiction account, but it gives a fiction account, but it almost seems like it's fiction, but it's very much non-fiction account of how the Federal Reserve came to be. So The Creature from Jekyll Island, and then it'll kind of give you some idea on why certain things might be considered securities and point you in a direction to keep learning more about our monetary system that we have today. And so why these different terms like securities are important. The Creature from Jekyll Island, check it out. You might learn something that you didn't know about how we got to our monetary system today. The second tip is one of my favorites, and it's literally just my favorite, and maybe you can see kind of the difference between how certain coins operate and why they might be considered securities versus the grandfather of all the coins, Bitcoin, with the book Bitcoin, Hard Money You Can't F With. Hard Money You Can't F With. It's also a new age account. This book actually was copywritten like during the pandemic, right? So very important things, this author's account of where they were with looking at crypto and where they were once we saw the boom, where they are, kind of the anticipation of the market. It's a really good account, and it's also a very easy breakdown of Bitcoin and of some of the properties and education that you need before you get into this space. So super easy read, really good, engaging author. Definitely a tip I recommend.
Awesome. So you heard it here. Those are wonderful books to read or add to your list because Tam has provided you 4 so far. Now you got 2 more books to add to your edition.
Add to the list.
You walk away with a lot of knowledge.
Next time I come through, we're going to come up with some other podcasts that we know that there's good information with. So stay tuned to next time I have some more tips for you.
So this was a fantastic episode. Man, we talked about some great things. Wow. You got to walk away with 9 current crypto securities that the SEC has deemed as securities. And so, we want you to do your own research, dive into that, learn a little bit more about all of those 9. We also talked about, what's going on in this space and how insider trading is now a charge within this space. So you got to look out for that. And then we gave you 2 great books to dive deeper into what this whole space means and how the monetary system started, as well as other means of educating yourself into this whole blockchain cryptocurrency space. So this is fantastic. I thank you, Tam, for joining me today. It's been great. Really appreciate it.
You know, it's always a good time with us, Yinka. So thank you, everybody, for tapping in. Make sure that you follow, comment, like, share, hit all the buttons, do your research below, do the things. Okay, get yourself educated in this space because blockchain is here to stay.
That part. Bye.